Premier League Game Week 2 is just around the corner. I'm Matthew Glazier. This is a video from WhatAcca.com. We're looking ahead to the weekend top flight action. 10 matches, 10 verdicts as far as a betting tip is concerned, and 10 correct scores. Let's see how many of these I'm able to get right this coming game week. We've got one round of data complete. We've seen all the teams in action. Lots of teams delivering impressive performances in game week 1, and also some with big question marks over them as we go into the weekend, starting with Aston Villa against Everton. Both teams were beaten in the opening match. Villa lost 2-0 at Bournemouth. They were poor. Everton lost 1-0 at home to Chelsea. They were toothless, and they're missing a couple of key central defenders. We think that both teams will look to go back to basics here, try to concentrate on getting the defensive side of things correct. Under 2.5 goals certainly makes appeal for those looking to put together an accumulator. Aston Villa might edge this game, and something like a 1-0 to Villa could be along the right lines, but Villa certainly look short enough on the 1x2 odds, considering how poor they were at the Vitality Stadium. 3 p.m. Saturday kickoffs include Arsenal against Leicester City. Arsenal are shorter than 1-2 to beat a Leicester side who were 2-0 up against Brentford before drawing the game 2-2 against the Bees. We do think Arsenal are going to win this match. We'd sooner go for Arsenal and both teams to score. Leicester certainly carry an attacking threat through Maddison, Vardy and Keane. Dewsbury Hall is coming to the fore very nicely. A 3-1 victory could be along the right lines. Gabriel Jesus might open his account for the Gunners after coming close on a couple of occasions at Selhurst Park. Arsenal look pretty vibrant, but we'd sooner get with Arsenal and both teams to score than Arsenal on the match odds. Brighton go up against Newcastle. Quite a hard one to predict this. Both teams produced impressive performances when winning their respective Game Week 1 games. We'll go for a draw. That seems to stick out. Something like a 1-1, which was the scoreline when these two teams met last season. Callum Wilson's looking sharp up top for the Magpies, but similarly, Brighton are obstinate opponents and had plenty of draws at the Amex Stadium last season. Manchester City go up against Bournemouth. This is a game which could be terribly one-sided, and normally when I'm predicting like a 5-0 scoreline, it seems like a really outlandish prediction, but something along the lines of a 5-0 could easily make appeal. We're drawn to the Asian handicap lines, and Man City minus 2.5 is a perfectly respectable price at 1.725. You could push things a little bit further and go -3 or even -3.5 if you want. I'm certainly not put off by the idea of backing Erling Haaland to score the first goal of the game, which you might be able to shop around and get 2-1 on this. He's certainly going to be the focal attacking point, and we know he's on penalties for City. Southampton go up against Leeds. This won't be a 5-0 to either team, but we do think both teams will find the net. A 2-2 scoreline could be something approaching a 2-2. Jesse Marsh's side were certainly keen to go on the front foot against Wolves. Slightly fortunate to come away with a 2-1 win. There were 10 shots on target in that game. Southampton, it's kind of an important game for Southampton on the basis they were heavily beaten at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and this is one of the easiest fixtures of their season on paper. So we're expecting Ralph Hasenhüttl's side to create plenty, and as I say, both teams to score, yes, seems a logical pick here. Wolves go up against Fulham at Molineux. Wolves having lost 2-1 at Leeds, and this is a bit of pressure on this game and Bruno Lage's side. Fulham were really, really good against Liverpool at Craven Cottage last weekend. They would have been deserving winners had they come away with 3 points. We're happy to take a chance on Fulham based on that performance. Andreas Pereira looked very good, operating just behind Alexander Mitrovic. Defensively, they looked pretty strong. They kept Liverpool at bay, especially in the first half of the game. And a Fulham 2-1 victory here would not surprise me in the slightest. Brentford clash with Manchester United on Saturday tea time. Brentford or the draw, I think, on the double chance market, or you can look at getting with Brentford on the Asian handicap. Manchester United are far from convincing at this point in time under Erik ten Hag. The situation might change, and they certainly have enough attacking weaponry to go to Brentford Community Stadium and win a match such as this. But just based on where they're at right now and where Brentford are at after that comeback to get a point at Leicester, we'd sooner get with Brentford in the draw. A 2-1 win to Brentford would be along the right lines. Their first home game of the season. There'll be plenty of support for them in the stadium, and this could be a good time to be playing Manchester United. There's 2 Sunday matches, starting at the City Ground where Nottingham Forest go up against West Ham United. West Ham are odds on to win this game, which might come as a surprise to some, but Forest were clearly second best at St James's Park last weekend when losing 2-0 at Newcastle. Newcastle had 10 shots on target to Forest 0, and we think West Ham probably will come out of their shell a hugely amount more than they did against Manchester City, where they almost seemed resigned to losing the game on that occasion. Gianluca Scamacca could make his full debut in this game. West Ham have certainly got the players to trouble Forest, including former Forest striker Mikel Antonio. We're going to go for West Ham to win and both teams to score. Forest might be capable of finding the net in their first Premier League match at the City Ground, but a 2-1 win for West Ham could be the outcome here at the final whistle. The real headline match of Premier League Game Week 2 takes place at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea go up against Tottenham Hotspur. We're going to go for Tottenham to win this game, just quite simply back Tottenham. They're the bigger price out of the three potential outcomes. Antonio Conte's side looked really good against Southampton. Yes, it was only Southampton, but the way they came from behind and just cruised to a 4-1 win where they could have scored more goals suggests that there's plenty more to come from the visitors in this game. A 3-1 win to Tottenham could be the right sort of call. They're not as reliant on Son Heung-min and Harry Kane as they previously have been. Dejan Kulusevski was the most prominent and impressive attacking player. We could see Ivan Perisic line up, but Ryan Sessegnon has proven that he's more than adequate in that left wing-back position as well. They look strong all over the pitch, including Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Rodrigo Bentancur in the holding midfield positions as well. Chelsea are going to be difficult to be beaten at Stamford Bridge or anywhere this season, but they just seem to be in that sort of state of transition at the moment, and without that sort of recognised centre forward, whether it's Kai Havertz or Raheem Sterling occupying that role, and the fact that they're sort of reassembling the defence a little bit now that Antonio Rudiger's left, we just are happy to side with Tottenham on this occasion. Finally, in the Monday night game, Liverpool played Crystal Palace. Jurgen Klopp was certainly unhappy with the way in which the Reds played at Craven Cottage. They were fortunate to get the 2-2 draw. Certainly can't afford to drop any more points at this early juncture in the season. Potential banana skin against the Palace side who won at City last season, but did lose at home to Arsenal last weekend. We think Liverpool will probably err on the side of caution somewhat in this game, and a 2-0 win with Liverpool both teams to score no probably being the best bet. Darwin Núñez is likely to start given his impressive cameo performances in the last two matches, but really what Klopp will want first and foremost is stout defending and moving the ball quickly, and I think that Harvey Elliott in the midfield will probably help to facilitate that. So we don't expect fireworks from Liverpool, but a straightforward win nonetheless. Those are the 10 predictions and correct score predictions for Game Week 2. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. We've got more content coming your way through various channels, so head over to WhatAcca.com, see what's available, and we'll keep plugging all the different channels, and hopefully we're able to pick you out some early season winners for all your bets. So all the best and have a great weekend. Cheers then.